Today we will talk about what it means to be a god, because many people still have trouble understanding the esoteric meaning. When I say that you are God, it means that the divine energy flowing within and through you and through the entire universe is the divine energy of God, which is the energy of creation, and that energy is within your body. The energy interacts and synchronizes with universal consciousness and with your avatar body, allowing you to have power within your tunnel of reality. This is what many people do not realize, what many people do not understand. I say that you are God because many ancient texts have said that you are God. Many people have religious books that tell them that they are gods and that they should perform miracles. Their books say this, but they do not want to see that part. You should understand the true power that resonates within you and be able to send your reality to command things to exist. It does not mean that you go around with a magic wand creating planets and things like that, but it means that we live in a fractal universe, and fundamentally, you are a small part of everything. I want to make it very simple and not become too scientific. It does not mean that you go around with a magic wand creating planets and things like that, but it means that we live in a fractal universe, and fundamentally, you are a small part of everything. I want to make it very simple and not become too scientific. If you look at a hologram, for example, if you take a tiny piece of a hologram and look at it, you will discover that the entire image is in that tiny piece of the hologram. The only thing you lose is the resolution. This is true science. We are a fractal of universal consciousness. Each of us is a universal fractal of the one source of divine energy, the divine source that creates everything in the third dimension. So what happened is that this universal consciousness, this divine energy, has divided into trillions and trillions of entities or infinite entities throughout the universe to subjectively experience themselves as individuals, even as a blade of grass, even as a rock, even as atoms that have formed into everything we call human beings, a human body, and even other species that are out there, because universal consciousness is engaged in a mission of data collection. It wants to gather information and data. Think of universal consciousness as your brain. Your brain is enclosed in complete darkness. It knows nothing, sees nothing, hears nothing, perceives absolutely nothing. But it sends out its friends, hearing, sight, touch, taste, and it tells its friends, hey, go out there and tell me what's happening. Collect some information and bring it back to me. This is what the universe is doing. The same thing. So your brain sends out its friends to taste, smell, touch, and see. All the senses gather information, but what they actually do is collect digital bits of information that they themselves cannot decipher. Your nose, for example, cannot decipher the information that is coming in, nor can your fingers decipher the sensation of touch that they perceive. They collect data and transmit that data to the brain, which is shrouded in complete darkness. Your brain then resolves everything and projects the hologram of what is happening outside. You navigate through the matrix based on that hologram, and that's how you operate and manipulate your avatar's body through this electromagnetic field that we call the third dimension. Everything exists only as electromagnetic waves until the conscious observer collapses the vibrations that are information into a slower vibration that we can identify as matter or solidity. But in reality, solidity and distance are all an illusion. When I say you are God, you have to understand that you have the same commanding powers as a divine energy, only in a much smaller and more fragmented form within your own body. And so you understand that you have to move with force and energy in the third dimension. You cannot enter the third dimension and move through this matrix with a weak mindset, with a mindset of begging, hope, desire, despair, or doubt. These are low-frequency vibrations. You have to raise your vibrations. You have to command this universe. You have to live with power. For example, when you have to make a business transaction, you should operate with a mindset of power. You order that this business transaction will go in my favor, and it will work in my favor and benefit me in a way that will allow me to progress in what I am trying to achieve. These are the types of mindsets you need to have. You need to enter into a transaction positively, with a mindset of power with the universe, not a weak mindset of begging. I hope it works, or I hope something happens. This mindset will lead to poor results. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. When I say you are God, the power is within you. You have to learn how to command it, how to command things to exist. I will give you a very simple example of this so that you can understand what I am saying. The cell phone that I am using right now to talk to you guys was a concept, a thought in someone's brain. So before this cell phone was here in this physical form in the third dimension, it was a thought in someone's brain. Someone thought of this potential phone, the form, the measurements, the dimensions, what kind of screen it would have, what the functions would be, and they focused on it and thought about it in their mind. They said, "This is what I want to manifest now." So they took that thought and transmitted it to a technological designer, who then put it in a two-dimensional form on a sheet of paper and also on a computer. Now it is a two-dimensional rendering of a thought, so that thought is now manifested by a consciousness platform on an operational platform of two-dimensional and then three-dimensional planes. It starts from the two-dimensional plane, then an engineer takes it and converts it into a three-dimensional object. So your thoughts start on the conscious plane, end up in a two-dimensional plane, and this is used to create objects that we use in the third dimension. Everything from your machine to your clothes to everything artificial starts in the same process. Conscious plane, two-dimensional plane, and then a three-dimensional plane, which is a three-dimensional object that we can actually touch. So everything starts with what starts from a thought. So when I tell people that we are God and that we have the power to create, and they laugh, doubt, and say, "But you're crazy." Well, if it weren't true, that you wouldn't even have a cell phone to talk on, because the person who thought of the cell phone that you're holding right now created that cell phone from thought and then brought it into the third dimension. And we do that with every single thing that we have that is made by man. I don't care what it is. Someone thought of the shape and dimensions of a box, and what happened? It manifested in the three-dimensional reality. Someone thought of the shape and dimensions of a vehicle that someone can sit in and travel in, and what happened? It manifested in the three-dimensional reality. Everything that we have that is made by man started in the form of a thought. The creator of this universe is able to create constantly, and guess what, guys? As above, so below. We have the exact same type of energy system as the creator, and that's why we also create consistently. Human beings who have 24 hours a day, 7 days a week create. If we didn't, there would be nothing here. We would be living naked in a cave, and yet we are doing it. We are operating and moving through this matrix using technology and the things we have created for ourselves as tools, clothing, cars, airplanes, and all technology in all its forms. And why? Because we thought about it on the conscious plane, then it moved to a two-dimensional plane. And then from there, it entered into a third dimension in physical reality. So we are creators. When I tell you that you have God within you, that is divine energy that allows you to create. People unfortunately take for granted that we have all this stuff. No, my friend, you are a creator. Each one of us has the power to create. You are God. Period. Understand it. Use it. You have to understand that the power is already within you, guys, and then you will see what I am talking about. You will understand the esoteric message that I am trying to convey to you. Well, you've reached the end of the video. If you are interested in learning more about similar topics, here you will find other really interesting videos from the channel. Thanks for watching this video. Click on the like button if you enjoyed it, and do not forget to subscribe in case you didn't. See you on the next one.